Hey guys, welcome to another WoW Weekly with Myst. And for this week, we have Timewalking WOD, which is a good one if you're still after mounts and all that. So with your badges, you will of course have your max level quest that gets you gear. So this should get you gear of an item level between 415 and 437. It should be a 415, and then it's upgradable after, which would drag it over to a 437. There's also your rep bonus, so you'll have 50% to all your rep, and some transmog items that are really cheap. Transmog, when I first started doing like time walking, I've been done for quite a while now, but when I first started doing them, transmogs were probably the fastest things I got out of the way first. They are very, very cheap. The mounts is kind of what you end up needing to bank your currency for. There's also some heirloom tokens. There's actually 2 mounts you can get off of this one. This is the only time walking that issues 2 mounts. I remember back then when it first came out, after they had released the next one, which was our most recent one, Legion, people were complaining that there was only 1 mount on it. And the reality is we got lucky with WOD. There's never been a time walking that had 2. You know, hell, Kata didn't even have a mount at all. It was a toy. So you can get the Beast Lord Iron Tusk and the Beast Lord Warwolf. These are not faction based. So that's, you know, usually if there's 2 mounts, that's what you're led to believe, is that one's for Alliance and one's for Horde. You can get both of them no matter what. And these are awesome mounts. I don't use the Warwolf too much, but I've used the Iron Tusk a lot. Yeah, the Iron Tusk is my favorite out of the 2, but both are amazing. And of course, there's Reigns of the Infinite Time Reaver that can drop off of any kill while you're doing time walking. So if you still need that mount, spamming time walking dungeons while it's active is the best way to do it. That can take a lot of kills. Infinite took me 607 kills to get. The cool part is each boss that you kill in time walking dungeons does count towards one. So looking back, 607 doesn't seem too bad, but back when I was doing it, it felt like forever because, you know, time walking only lasts a week and then you're waiting and yeah. So it felt like a long time back then. If you still need some WOD rep, there is rep tokens you can get. So yeah, there's that. Very easy way to get it, especially with Dark Moon right now, which I haven't mentioned yet, but it is going to be active this week as well. It's active right now, actually. And if you apply that buff and then you use your tokens, the rep tokens for WOD is worth 300. And yeah, so really good week to grab that if you need it. There's also 2 toys with the WOD time walking, and that's the Apexis Focusing Shard, which channels an orange beam of light between you and your target. It lasts 1 minute and it has a 10-minute cooldown, and it costs 500 badges. And then the second toy is the Banner of the Burning Blade. It adds a banner to your character's back. It lasts 10 minutes and it has a 1-hour cooldown, and that toy costs 750 currency. And yeah, that's basically it. This is a list of the dungeons that you will get for WOD and what you get for completing them. So also this week we have, as I just mentioned, Dark Moon Fair is active right now. It went active on July 2nd and it will stay until July 8th. So great time to use those buffs. Also, if you want to level, it is an experience and rep buff. And Midsummer is also still going on. That will end on July 5th. So until then, although that's only a couple of days, you could also apply the poll All you do is go to anywhere there's a bonfire, there will be a pole. The most popular area is the city, but it's everywhere, so you won't miss it. And just click the pole, dance around the pole, it gets you a buff. And for a couple of days at the beginning of this reset, you can take advantage of that. Actually, it'll only be one day because, resets on Tuesday, and that's going to end Wednesday at 10 a.m. or something. So, also, Welcome to Sanctuary is still going on. So that's also an extra experience and rep buff, and that is active until July 11th. So even when Midsummer ends, you still have that sucker to drag you along as well. Fireworks will go on the 4th. So July 4th and 5th will have fireworks. And then the PvP brawl this week will be War Song Scramble. So yeah, that's the events for this week. Definitely a nice leveling week, which is perfect because that's kind of what I was thinking of maybe doing this week. It's been a pretty hectic week for me. I've been doing my best catching up on those Midsummer videos, so it'd be nice to have a nice little relaxing gameplay and chill with you guys. It's been, by the time I hop back on stream, it will have easily been a week. Which is a long time for me. We usually, at the very least do one, and most cases almost every day. So it's been a bit. So that's the events. Have fun leveling and all that if that's your plan. And let's get into the news. Okay, so the first piece of news is the trading post. So it's a new month, and we got the trading post on the 1st. And it's got quite the list of stuff, so I'm just going to roll this quick little video that Blizzard put together. I will admit I do love the music in it. It is pretty catchy.
Come back soon.
Okay, so for this month on the trading post, we have the Spectral Tiger Cub. This is a pet I actually wanted for a really long time. Nowadays, I don't really care about it because it's so old looking. But I remember back in the day, it looked really good compared to all the other old pets, but still a good one for the collection. So that's going to cost you 750 Trader Tender. Then we have the Tyrael's Charger. This is the 4th time Tyrael's Charger is in the mix. This one will cost you 900 Trader's Tender, and they apparently really want people to have the Tyrael's Charger. I think they think they're making people happy with putting it out 4 times or something. I don't know. But it's in the list, so if you didn't originally have it and you didn't buy it on the shop in January and then you didn't do the Goblin event to get it there, you have another chance to get it off the trading post. The trading post does recycle things, so this means that you will always have a chance off the trading post. It's just a matter of when it comes back around. Which definitely means Tyrael's Charger is 100% not unique anymore because it's technically an in-game item now. Next we have Reigns of the Fell Crystal Scorpion. This one's going to cost you 650 Trader Tender. And this is actually a recolor of the Amber Scorpion mount, which is one of my favorites. Next, we have the fabulously flashy Finery. It's a purple shirt, not much to say there. It costs 50 trader tender. The Primeval Basher is a one-hand mace, costs 50 trader tender. The Polished Short Sword is a one-hand sword and costs 75 trader tender. The Silvered War Cloak costs 75 trader tender. And then there's the Vagabond's Violet Threads. It's head and cloak, and it costs 100 trader tender. Wandering Violet Trappings is another cloak, and it's another 100. Fists of Polar Fury is 175 trader tender. There's the Sinister Fell Staff that's kind of like Golden Staff. That's 175 trader. And Mephistroth's Razor is 200 trader. That's a one-hand sword. There's the Helm of the Fierce, which costs you 225 trader tender. The Filgreed Lion's Maw. I feel like, has this one been in the store before? I feel like we've had this in the trading post before. It doesn't seem new for whatever reason. But then I do cover news. Maybe I covered the model of this, and yeah, but whatever. This is a shield. It's 250 trader tender. There's the Eldori War Mace that is 500 trader tender. It's a two-hand mace. And Tauren Fellspire is a 600 trader tender. It's a staff. Not much to say there. It does look pretty badass, though. Conquest looks like a kick-ass sword. So this is a two-hand sword. It's going to cost you 600 trader tender. And then the final item on this list is the Ensemble Sylvan Stalker's Leather. And this is a full transmog set. So it will cover the helm, shoulders, chest, waist, legs, feet, wrist, and hands. And this sucker is going to cost you 750 trader tender. I would say, considering the price of the transmogs on the trading post, 750 for a full ensemble set is a damn good deal. Like, hell, the sword we just covered just a minute ago was 600, and that's just one item, right? Yeah, so really good when they do those ensemble sets. And then as the monthly challenge for completing all your tasks, there is the Grotto Netherwing Drake. So this is a Dragonriding. It does go into your collection as a new Dragonriding mount. And it's, of course, going to have the customizations and all that. So that is July's list. In the video, you did see some oddball items that aren't in this list. That's because that video was advertising July and August. I was really surprised to see the Spirit of Competition pet. I'm not sure why, because I shouldn't be surprised at this point. It is one of my oldest achievements. Here's a picture that I actually threw up on the news channel, showing off the pet, but also showing off the achievement. You're not going to get that achievement because you need to actually loot the tabard to get that achievement. And we're getting the pet, not the tab. I'm okay if they want to just hand out all this shit for free. I'm getting used to it at this point. People's complaints is, you've had it long enough. It's our turn to have this mount or this pet. Fine, give them the mount, give them the pet. But on that note, I think they should just recolor these. I don't care that they're handing them out, but at the same time, these are all really, really old items, There's a reason people ask for them. It's for their collection. Like, they're not going to actually use this shit, at least most won't. Maybe some will, but it's like the Swift Spectral Tiger. I think that mount's ugly. Do I want it? Yeah. Why? Because it's unique and it'll be in my collection. Will I use it? Never. Yeah, it's old, it's outdated. I just want it in the collection. I've honestly never understood the whole logic of you've had it for a while, it's my turn, because as a huge mount farmer, I have mounts that I don't have. Like, I basically never go after gladiator mounts because I don't have the time to put in for gladiator. Like, I'm a YouTuber, a streamer. Like, I just don't have the time for gladiator mounts. Would it be cool to have one? Yeah, of course. But am I over here saying, oh, you've had that mount for a while, it's my turn now? No. Like, I missed out. That's my bad. And that's the way it should be. You missed out. Too bad. You know? Like, yeah, I've never understood that logic. So if this is the way it's gonna be, I hope that I come into some gladiator mounts soon because, those are really the only ones I never went after. And I hope Blizzard knows that people won't stop complaining. They're gonna run through giving out all these mounts, and then what's next? Exactly what I'm joking about right now. Because I'm not serious about, like, it's in Gladiator is not something they should ever give out for free. But there's not going to be any mounts left that people want other than those. And then that'll be the next one. Why do you think Tyrael is being handed out like 4 times? It's because Tyrael's Charger was the number 1 mount that people always was like, bring back, Blizzard, bring back. Now they're in an expansion that's dead, and all they got is making people happy by giving them mounts that they didn't obtain years ago. Eventually, they will start complaining about in-game mounts, and you will start seeing in-game mounts being handed out. So, unrelated to the trading post, but there's been a dog that's been data mined in the 10.1.5 patch, and it's this guy. He's super cute. So these are the 4 different versions that you can have. And there's an icon for a ghost dog version. Also, just a reminder that the Prime Gaming mount is available now. It is the Swift Shorestrider mount, and you have till July 20th to get your hands on this mount. We got some info on BlizzCon. So BlizzCon prices have been hiked. Yep, I was looking at it. I don't think I'm going to attend this year's BlizzCon. So general admission is now $300. The last time I went to BlizzCon, it was like $200 plus tax. So yeah, that's an extra $100. The portal pass is $800. This is, of course, USD dollars. No price on the virtual ticket yet. They usually do that later. So if you were wondering, like, if maybe you caught this and you were like, where's the price on the virtual ticket? They never release it with this. The reason is because they wait closer to BlizzCon. So you can expect to see the virtual ticket prices somewhere in like September and October is probably when we'll get them. The last time BlizzCon occurred, the virtual ticket price was $50. I'm anticipating an extra 10. The reason I'm only anticipating an extra 10 is because when tickets used to be $100, because yes, there was a time where BlizzCon tickets were just like $99, and the virtual ticket was like $40 back then. So every time they have upped it so far an extra 100, the virtual ticket's gone up 10. So that's why I'm anticipating that it'll be $60 US. So there is a logic to it. I don't just throw out random guesses. There's always some sort of math I've done in the background to come up with my guesstimates. But yeah, so that is the price. If you want to attend, the first wave does start on July 8th. And then the second wave will be July 22nd. I will once again bring it up in a WoW Weekly to alert you guys on the second wave in case you forget the date. You do need to sign up with Axis. They're not bad. I was a little leery when I went in 2019 and I had to sign up to this app. Honestly, it was convenient, you know. I'm very much that person that doesn't like new things, and you know, but they made it very convenient. You just showed your phone when going into the stages and all that. And yeah, so it's not bad. Another thing I thought I'd add is these Maghar Orc Eye colors. So there's a new eye color for them in the new patch 10.15. And yeah, it's orange. And speaking of orange, see, I'm thinking that these are being data mined because people are discovering Halloween stuff, because the next thing I discovered after this was this sucker. So this is cute. This is an upcoming customization to your Dragonriding. So you can have the little pumpkin guy on the back of your dragon. So yeah, clearly this has to do with, you know, Halloween. Last week I covered the broom mount that we still don't know, you know, if it's going to be permanent or temporary, but yeah. So I think I might have been right the first time. I'm hoping not, but because this is a customization and it would probably, you know, like, why would it stay with you after Halloween, right? It probably goes away after the Halloween event. So I think that broom mount was an updated version. Yeah, I think I think it is actually still a temporary mount. Yeah, but hopefully I'm wrong. And yeah, hopefully I'm wrong and it is permanent. But just because I'm seeing this now, it's starting to lead me back to my original thought of the broom mount just being, you know, updated more or less. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe you can turn your dragon into the broom mount. Right? Like, who knows? Maybe that's the deal. But I do really like this, because when you're like in front of someone, your pumpkin guy is like facing them, right? So very cute, very cute. Okay, and the last piece of retail news I have for you guys is this cinematic. So this is a new in-game cinematic. It is for 10.15, so if you don't want spoils, you can pass over this timestamp. But it is called A Matter of Time, and it does feature Alexstrasza and Nozdormu in it.
My friend, do the clouds still accost your mind?
Something much more terrifying. A moment of clarity. I have lived 1,000,000 lives and witnessed their endless unfolding threads. Was it a vision? A memory or a dream? Is there any difference?
Nozdormu, what did you see?
My hour grows late. Those who broke their oaths to the Timeways, the Infinites, have struck a bargain. I do not know what Iridikron has promised them, and yet...
We have defeated each of them before.
Yes, but together, the infinite horizon is all but inevitable. And once I become what they desperately want me to be, the darkest version of myself, the future will be lost. And so will I.
I am not giving up on you, my friend. We are not giving up on you.
Okay, so that calls it on the retail news. As far as I'm concerned, this week I've just been focusing on the midsummer videos. If you're still down to some of the last ones, they're all on the channel now. That's at least the plan anyway, so hopefully that is accurate. But I'm recording this Sunday night. I just posted a thing where I said that, uploads were going to be during oddball hours, more or less. So they should all be on the channel by the time WoW Weekly posts. That was kind of my whole plan. If they're not, they'll post after WoW Weekly. But the plan is to have them all on the channel before reset, which means you'd have one extra day if you were needing some help on, those achievements. I know a lot of the time people prefer visuals over add-ons, which is why I do those videos. You might be wondering what's the point. They could just get an add-on. But I know a lot of people that are very much, why do you think people on YouTube channels are like, open up the map, right? Like it's because they need visuals, right? Yeah. So the good part is that shit is all done. I'll be in the free and clear next year when Midsummer rolls around, and we won't have to probably do much with it until the next expansion brings out new bonfires. Speaking of, there is the Dragon Isle bonfires on the channel right now. That was the first one I did. And and I got a lot of levels out of this. My hunter hit almost level 65. And she was like right at the beginning of level 60 when I started. And that was from doing, I would say, all the bonfires except for the Dragon Isles ones. And the BFA, because I'm not redoing the BFA. BFA is fine. So that's a lot. That's all of Kalimdor, all of Eastern, Outlands, Northrend, Panda, Kata. That's it. Shadowlands, I don't think Shadowlands had bonfires. There's no achievement for it, so maybe there's bonfires out there, like, for the hell of it. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, actually. I'll look into that before I stop all my midsummer, but there's no achievement for it. So, yeah. And as you can see in this footage, I did buy the new item. It costs 500, but look how quick it goes. I wish it was a little slower, it just was like done and gone in a flash. I guess, flash, right? Because it does have the word flash in the title of the toy. It was mediocre. It's like someone's got to be looking at you at right that second, or else they'll miss it. But honestly, it was kind of like a free item to me anyway, because since I'd been doing all these achievements, I had a lot of currency. My druid actually did the Dragon Isles one, and then the hunter did the rest. So the druid had like 300. No, that didn't all come from Dragon Isles. I did do like 1 or 2 days of weeklies. And then 1 dungeon, and then the Dragon Isles achievement. My plan was that I was just going to do weeklies and then buy the toy with the druid. But then once I started doing the videos with the hunter, I started realizing that I don't even have to do a single extra thing on the druid. My hunter will just accidentally have the currency. So yeah, that's why I bought it on the hunter, and then she still had like an extra 300 currency after that, without actually grinding currency. I had over 1,000. I have everything else on the vendor though, so it actually is just gonna kind of go to waste. But yeah, that's what I've been up to this week. I'm going to have them all kind of edited by reset day, which means streams should be back on, I want to say regularly, but it really just depends what's going on this week. But they won't be non-existent, they should be back this week. Probably more midweek, like Wednesday, Thursday type deal. But nonetheless, we will be back to streams. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on with me. It's just been a really busy week. I meant to get some cleaning and some yard work done this weekend, and that failed because of all the editing I was doing. For us Canadians, it was Canada Day on July 1st, so I made a Canada Day cake. It's an ice cream cake, one of my favorites. My two favorite desserts is ice cream cake and cheesecake. And it went pretty good. This was a long-ass process. I'm just going to say, guys, making an ice cream cake is like minimum 6 hours because you're constantly like throwing it in the freezer, taking it out, throwing it in for other layers, taking it out. Yeah, don't make an ice cream cake like by hand. Well, actually, to be perfectly honest, I would never actually suggest making an ice cream cake. We did it for a video, but to be honest, I could buy an ice cream cake for cheaper than I bought the ingredients for to make it at a Dairy Queen, and they would do all the work, and I wouldn't have to be around all day to make the ice cream cake, right? But I did it. That was the Canada Day thing that I did, and it turned out, really well. It tastes delicious. The decorating part, we ran into a complication there. I wanted to actually write Happy Canada Day on the cake. There was a complication on getting the frosting thick enough to be able to not have it melt right on top while writing it. So we totally scrapped that, and as you can see, I just sprinkled some red sprinkles on the cake and called it a day. But now I can say I have homemade an ice cream cake. I know that it takes all day, and yeah. If anyone's interested, that is on my cooking channel, but I will warn you, because of there being some, because of me making it into, like, this is my first time making this, it's not like your traditional how-to video, so it's longer. It's like almost an hour, so it depends on if you like watching those longer type videos, but it does show like all my mistakes, and then there's like a little how-to as well. So like you learn how to make it, but you also get the stuff that most people would cut out of a video, because most people want their videos perfect. I chose to like leave the mistakes in, to give the full experience. So that's another thing I did this past week, because I won't have another WoW Weekly before this happens. Happy July 4th for you guys over in the States. So that's the plan this week. Yeah, we'll bring streams back. I'm gonna clean the house, and I gotta go cut the lawn. Honestly, this weekend was kind of a bad weekend for that anyway, because it was actually really nice weather. It was raining, aside from a tornado hitting down 2 hours away from me, But yeah, it's, the grass would have been wet anyway. So yeah, I probably would have ended up having to wait on yard work anyway. But cleaning the house could have gone done. But I was just so busy with edits. So yeah, that's the plan this week is, clean the house, do some yard work, bring back the streams, and then of course YouTube videos, that never stops, YouTube is my number one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's WoW Weekly with Myst. Have a great week in WoW, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.